Well, hello everyone. Peter is back on my couch right now as I interview him. No, actually, we're at Peter's couch, and also Poe Belter's here. How's it going?
Me? Damn, this is going so well to start with. I thought you were talking to Eugene.
Well, I need to address it. I was going to both of you.
Yeah.
I introduced both of you, and I was like, we're here, and here's what's going on. And then
we're only doing one take.
Yes. We only ever did, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm doing great. I'm just really excited. I mean, we're all suited up and stuff. We just got done doing some content, some shoots, and I'm just really excited that it's actually happening and that we can sort of like bring that to the community, and I think everyone's gonna be really excited.
No, I missed the memo because I thought, we have done so many casual interviews with like t-shirts and jerseys and stuff that I was like, oh, I'll just wear a sweater, and then I showed up and you're in a suit and tie. And
I am mocking you pretty hard right now.
Eugene is swagged out. It's just I was not told that this is what we were doing.
You should have came prepared. That's all I have to say.
Yeah,
that's your bad.
From now on, I'll know any Doublelift interview could include a suit and tie, a black tie event. This video is brought to you by Boot.dev. Love having them as a sponsor because so many people have reached out to tell me that they've tried Boot.dev after our sponsorships and really enjoyed it, learned a lot of cool new skills. For instance, you can learn back-end web development from start to finish in Python and Go. Listen, the smartest way to learn to code is to make sure you're never bored so that you can stick with it long enough to reach your goals. And you can't learn to code without actually writing a lot of code and building real projects. That's why Boot.dev is so cool, because it turns learning code into a game. For instance, you can earn XP, levels, achievements, and complete quests to get a top spot on the global leaderboard. And if you ever struggle to understand a concept, Boots, a powerful bear wizard that's been trained on each lesson, can walk you through your issues. He's an AI that will ask you questions to help you understand rather than hand you the answers. One of the things I love about Boot.dev is that they never want a student to spend money on something that they feel is not helping them. That's why they offer a 30-day no questions asked refund policy and a free demo of every course and its interactive features. So go to Boot.dev and use code TravisGafford to save 25% off your first year if you choose the annual plan. Thank you so much to Boot.dev for sponsoring this video. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about the team that you formed with the intent of winning worlds, I believe. That's what you're doing?
Yeah, we're definitely setting out to win worlds, if not at least to knock out DSG, take their spot in the LTA.
Okay.
I mean, that's literally how it works. Like, there's only one guest spot. They have it now. We're going for it. We're going to take it. And yeah, I mean, the TLDR of like what happened is a couple months ago, Ming, like Spica, was just messaging us randomly, right? And he was like, yo, wouldn't it be funny if we joined OQ? I think you have a story about that, right?
Wait, are these microphones?
Yes, those are microphones.
Oh, I was so confused. I was like, oh, Travis will pass me the microphone if he wants to speak. Well,
no,
why
listen,
do you have the
esports recession, I only have 2 of these types of microphones. So I'm using the old school microphone because it's esports winter, and so this is what I got.
Wow, I've never seen this fancy technology.
Yeah, this is why you were so quiet, I guess, moments ago when I was trying to introduce
Dude, what was the question? I'm sorry, it's been a while.
Doublelift was asking you, he's like, oh, isn't it crazy how Ming messaged both of us and said, wouldn't it be crazy if? And then he was trying to throw to you so that you could continue the story.
I'm glad
so
you
it wasn't just him.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
communications major coming in hot.
Yeah. I was like, well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess that could be a cool idea. And then Peter was like, cool, let me hit up TF Blade and Biofrost, and great, we formed the team and I'm submitting the application. I was like, holy fuck, what? And then it happened. And also I realized something extremely awkward here in that if everything goes perfectly and we end up winning NACL, which is, it's a big if, and then if we face DSG and if we knock them out, I'm like, DSG asked me to be their co-streamer this year and like watch their matches and root them on and stuff.
So you co-stream your own elimination match of DSG?
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to Toast and figure out what's going on here. But
And you're realizing that in this interview right now.
Well, I've realized it before, but I really need to talk to him.
It's really coming home in this moment.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. So that ended up happening. And then, and I remember you and I talked a little bit about this whenever it was happening. And I feel like it became more serious over time. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, literally, I'm telling you, I'm not even joking. Like, the way it started is like Spica messaging us like, yo, Unks, like, wouldn't it be so funny if we just played in the OQ and just like, played in this tournament and stuff? And so I was just like, yeah, like we could basically just like put together this ragtag group and just play in this tournament. And then, you know, logically, it went to the next step, which is, okay, well, now we have scrims booked, but like, if we win in the OQ, we'll make it an NACL. We're gonna play in that. So that became a huge discussion point for the team of like, well, are we gonna half-ass it, you know, and just like kind of just show up for match day? Are we gonna go 2 days a week of scrims where we're trying pretty hard? Or are we gonna go full try hard and scrim like 4 days a week, 5 days a week? Nobody could do 4 days a week of scrims. We all have stuff going on, right? Like I don't want to go over exactly what it is. Like Vincent has school. We all have like different obligations.
I need a laundry list of everyone's schedule.
Yeah, chores. You know, yeah. It's just not possible. We can't. And all of us also don't really like. We were pros. Most of us, you know, not TF played, but the rest of us, and like that schedule is extremely taxing. So we settled on, okay, we're gonna do it. There was this indecisive moment where we were kind of like thinking we weren't gonna do it, but then we went down the list, talked to everybody, and it's like we can scrim 2 days a week, and we can make the match days work, and we really want to do it. So everyone is kind of making some sacrifices to make this work, and yeah, I'm just really excited because now that we're gonna actually do this thing, I feel like it gives us all like purpose to something to look forward to every single week. Something to stream that's not just solo queue, and a goal to work towards, which is like super fun.
Are you guys going to be streaming all of your scrims?
Yeah, I think that is our intent, yeah, to stream all our practice, stream our matches, kind of like rebuild that connection between the more competitive side and the community side, because I feel like over time, at the very start, that was very close-knit if you think about the super early days, CLG, TSM. Super tight-knit with the community on Twitch, on Reddit, and then over time that like really shifted away where, you know, there's players who have been playing in the LCS, LTA forever and fans don't really know anything about them. So that's where we can come in and kind of offer a glimpse into what it's kind of like, have a team that the fans can cheer for week to week. That's really the goal of the team, is honestly to create engaging and cool content, something that's different than just grinding out solo queue.
Yeah. What do you think you bring to the NACL environment besides obviously attention and fame? Because I ask because I think it's very unusual. You have a lot of people in this environment who are trying to like go pro for the first time, or like their big dream is to come in. And then on the other side, they have all these boomers that are hanging out in the other side of the rift against them. And I assume there's a chance for them to learn a lot from you guys, or at least like you have a lot of experience. It's like they get to face people who have competed on the world stage so many times. So I just kind of wonder what you think you guys are able to bring from sort of an experience and gameplay perspective.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's actually so funny that like I feel very encouraged by NACL, the teams and the players in it, and even like the staff as well. Gotten so many messages from people who are like in NACL, like playing, coaching, or, you know, a part of the scene, and like they're like, dude, it would be so cool to play against you. I've gotten messages like it was an honor to play against you guys. Like I really appreciate the opportunity. Learned a lot, and I just felt like, wow, like the gratitude is really amazing, and I feel like the community in NACL is actually like really cool. I was never a really big part of it, obviously, but I always knew that it existed. For a little bit, I thought that Riot, like with the changes, there kind of like wasn't a tier 2 scene, but it's still there, and I think it's cool that we can like bring attention to it. There's a lot of really passionate people that are trying really hard to be like the best players, the best teams, and it's kind of a shame because like no one was really watching. So I think it's really nice that when we play, a lot of people watch, and I think that's really appreciated.
Pobelter, how has the experience been of playing against some of these teams? I know so far you've only been in OQ, but I assume you've been able to scrim some other teams, etc. Like, did you get into it thinking, wow, we're going to be so good, and then maybe face more steep competition? Was it, oh, this is going to be difficult, can we do this? And then it ended up being very easy. Like, what has that experience been like?
I definitely skewed towards the more like careful, fearful side. Like, oh, I don't know, is this a good idea? Like, how good are we going to be really? Are we like mega washed and can't even hold up to like tier 3, tier 2 players anymore? But, you know, after getting some games in together, I think I realized like, yeah, we can still like hold our own. Like, at our peak, we were really, really, really good players. So, even if we're not giving it 100, 200%, scrimming 10 hours a day, followed by 5 hours of solo queue, watching every game, LCK, LPL, all that crazy schedule, we're still able to, what's the term I'm looking for? Like, go
toe to toe.
Go toe to toe. Yeah. I wanted to say blow for blow, but yeah, toe to toe.
That works too, I think.
Yeah.
Blow for toe.
Yeah, toe for blow. Wait, that sounds wrong.
Anyway, we're gonna move on. So one of the other things I was wondering is, are you able to turn it off? Especially Peter, because you've always been such a competitor that, like, I wonder if you will be able to find like the happy medium where you're not trying as hard as you did during those days, but then also you're still like able to put your attention in. Because I feel like it might be difficult for you as somebody who's such a competitor, who's been so driven, has been in these environments for so long, to find like the happy medium.
It's funny because Eugene was talking about how he's really stressed in the beginning. I think it's because like part of us cannot turn it off. Like it's not the same level of competition that we were doing 5-10 years ago, but it's still a form of competition. We're still playing in a tournament, right? We're still playing in a circuit with NACL, and I find it really hard to turn it off. Like the first couple of weeks that we started scrimming, I was extremely anxious the whole time. I was like having a lot of doubts. I was about myself, about the team, about whether or not we should really do this. And I could not stop thinking about our games. Like even today, while we are like going to the photo shoot and stuff, and like, we're all dressing up and stuff like that, my mind is like, I'm like constantly like replaying our scrims. Like I'm like replaying our matches in my mind because I can't turn it off. Also, like any hour of the day where I feel like, man, that was kind of a waste of an hour, I'm thinking like, why didn't I just like go watch a VOD or play solo queue? Like it's in my mind. I'm trying to fight it because I think that time in my life is over, right? Like everyone knows it, like we all know it, like that time in my life where I am just like all in on playing this game and being the best player that I possibly can be is like over. It's honestly like unhealthy for you to do that for I'm like 31, I'm gonna have kids, me and Lena are gonna get married. Like I don't wanna be that guy, but I think I need to do, like that's something I'm gonna work on throughout the entire time doing this, is that balance. And I want to be the best player that I can be for New Airport, but not like stress out over it so much that I'm losing my mind.
Yeah. Eugene, do you find yourself in your solo queue games or whatever, like leaning in a little bit more now, trying to make sure you're like, okay, I want to get better?
Yeah, I think playing solo queue recently has been like, I'm like taking it more serious. I'm like getting like more angry when I play the game actually, so I don't know if that's a good thing, but I've climbed a lot in solo queue because I'm like taking it more serious now and like, playing to win, playing to improve, like more focus and purpose, because I don't want to show up and I don't want to show up and just be like mid, like we want to win as much as we can, because losing sucks.
Yeah. There was a lot of drama in the last couple days on Reddit because I think casually on stream you had explained that there was some uncertainty about the future of the team, and a lot of people were frustrated about that, or they were like, oh, he's not taking it seriously, or oh, whatever. I guess maybe can you walk me a little bit through what happened there? And obviously now you're saying that you guys are going to do this. So what was kind of going on behind the scenes in those moments?
I mean, peep the fit. I'm taking this very seriously right now.
You have some cat fur on your shoulders. So
okay, that's some points lost, unfortunately.
Exactly.
What was going on then? Okay, so here's the timeline. A week before the deadline for open qualifier signups, we do this. I meet up with Eugene and like we assemble the team, right? Like it's like literally last second. We submit the paperwork the night before that it's actually due to Riot. So now we're logged in for open qualifier, and it's just like this fun project. Now Eugene has a vacation that he did like months ago, right? Like you already planned this vacation.
Planned it last year, yeah.
Yeah, and so he's gonna go for like 10 days to this vacation. So we do some scrims with Eugene, and then we do basically like two weeks of scrims with Jensen. And we're like, messing around with like guest coaches with like Medios and Croissants. And this is also like, basically some of our first scrims ever as a team. And the scrims are going terribly without Eugene. They're going so bad. I think we had a 10% win rate in 2 weeks in scrims. It was horrible. And so at that point, I'm at an all-time low in confidence, and the open qualifiers is about to come up. And Eugene is about to come back from his vacation. So I think perfect time. I'm going to talk to everybody about maybe we should ramp up the practice, right? Like I think 2 days a week of scrims, we're getting shit on pretty hard. Maybe we should be scrimming a little bit more. So I talked to everyone and they're like, well, the general consensus with our team, with everyone's lives is we can't really make it work for everybody to do like 3-4 days of scrims a week.
Yeah.
We can't. Like it's literally just not possible. So I'm like, do we really want to go into this thing and kind of be, what I was thinking is like 2 days a week of scrims, maybe we're just gonna suck, right? Like maybe we can't make it happen. Maybe we can't go toe to toe with NACL teams. And that was, I think, like a bit of a negative exaggeration. I think we totally can. After we played in the open qualifiers and I got some more information as to like how the NACL teams usually practice, I think we can. I think it's totally fine. So there was some doubt. We did a meeting before the open qualifiers and a meeting afterwards. I do think there was like a little bit of buzz, like a honeymoon from like going undefeated in open qualifiers, but I think like we're all thinking about it pretty logically. And when we did that second meeting to make the final decision, we all unanimously agreed, I mean, we had to unanimously agree for anything to happen, to just go for it, let's do it. And I think you said something along the lines of, let's not be pussies, just do it.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, like, we can try really hard first split, and, you know, if things are terrible for someone, it's not working out, it's not what someone expected, like, you know, then we can reevaluate. But we might as well, at least for the very first split, which is only like 2 months long, like, just give it a good, honest try where everyone tries their best.
Yeah. I also think the fans have been really encouraging. So it's like, it feels good to do something that I feel like everyone wants to see us do. It just feels like we have like a huge fan base behind us already, just from like old LCS heads and stuff that just want to see it happen. So yeah, I mean, that was a big push.
Obviously, a lot of people are making comparisons to Los Ratones. Where should fans sort of manage their expectations in terms of what Near Airport will be versus what Los Ratones has been for Europe? Because obviously that team and Cadrill's involvement and all that stuff has really swept Europe and been like a huge thing. I think a lot of people are like, is this going to be our version of that? And obviously they're maybe taking it in a little bit more of a serious way than you said that you guys will be able to do, just because of your time constraints and all that stuff. So I guess, yeah, where should people's expectations be in regard to you guys versus that team?
I mean, Near Airport clears Los Ratones.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen K-Corp at first stand?
I don't think they showed up, actually.
Yeah, I'm from fraud region. What can I say?
Bo Belter's looking more worried as you keep talking. His expression has gotten more and more dismayed throughout every word you said.
Take it away, buddy.
I mean, I'm a little more humble about this. If you combined all the clout we have on our team, we would maybe amount to like a fraction of the influence that like Cadrill is able to generate. But we want to do something similar for the NA scene. Of course, they're a big inspiration for us, and how much interest and support they've generated from their fans. We want to do something similar in the NA scene, where NA fans can have a team of their own like homegrown talent that they probably watched growing up. Season 3, Season 4, me and Peter were playing back then, and today we're still, trying to keep relevant at the top of Challenger. We want to have a similar sort of team that these fans can root for and support and tune into our matches week to week and cheer for us.
Yeah. I mean, to be serious for 1 second, I think Cadrill is a huge inspiration for sure. Los Ratones, like, without Los Ratones existing and like paving the way and like showing like people are interested in this sort of thing, like this probably wouldn't have happened, right? I think I think Cadrill is like a special mix of like, he's really knowledgeable about the game, and he was a pro player himself, so he can like put himself in a pro player's shoes, and like he put in the work, and it's like paying off huge. I don't know exactly what their schedule's like, but it seems like they're taking it just as seriously as a LEC team. Like they're putting in that much time. So, nothing but respect.
What do you think it says about League esports right now that we're kind of in the situation where for some fans, it is more exciting to see these tier 2 or tier 3 teams than it is maybe for them to become fans of some of the teams that are competing in the higher levels of each region?
Oh, so you're saying like, why are we already more popular than like half the LTA teams?
I didn't say it like that.
Yeah, bro. It's because like, I think, I mean, I don't know exactly why, but I think part of it is like, a lot of LTA fans, a lot of fans of every region, like they grew up watching players like me and Eugene and Spica and Biofrost, and like, over in EU, they grew up watching Reckless. They grew up watching like Nemesis in his like prime when he was like just popping off. And so, like, why is there interest in it? I guess it's just natural because the game got older. So there's just going to be people who have been fans for a long time, and it's really cool to see.
Well, I think ultimately at the end of the day, people want to be entertained, and I'm using the word people a lot. People want players who that they can see a lot and root for a lot. I feel like the structure of the highest tier of competitive play is so brutal, cutthroat competitive that as a player, you can't really give attention to that without letting your play suffer at all. So when I was playing pro, I completely abandoned my stream, social media presence, everything. I would just lock myself in a room, scrim, play solo queue, watch VODs for like 14, 15 hours a day, right? And then lost that connection with the fans a lot. Yeah. So I think because we're already starting from a base of, well, we're streamers, like we're on pretty much every day on Twitch. If you go to the league category, chances are one of us is probably streaming. I think that is like a huge, huge point in why anyone is interested at all. Like whatever about who's playing at the very pinnacle of competition. I think for a lot of fans, like it's hard to even notice the difference between like a tier 1 or a tier 2 player. Like that's not something that's very visible to the eyes of a fan, but what is visible is like, oh, this guy's on. He's like cool. He has a funny personality. I can like tune in every day and he's on. Yeah.
I am also just wondering a little bit about what your expectations are for the team going forward. Like what can the team accomplish? How competitive will you guys be? What do you think the heights of near airport will be?
I mean, I think right now, if we played the lower tier, if we played even the worst LTA team, we might get run over, right? Like that's how I genuinely feel right now. But like after months of practice, where do I think we'll be? I think we'll be definitely good enough to compete with some of the LTA teams. We only need to beat literally the guest spot DSG to accomplish our goal at the end of the year. So that'll be really cool to see that matchup. I don't know. I feel really confident. Honestly, like I think our peaks were really, really high. I doubt any of us are going to like reach our peaks exactly like at this moment. But like, even if we're playing at like a lower level of our like, our best selves ever, I think that's definitely more than good enough to be like a great team and to win.
What happens if you do beat the Disguised Toast team at the end of the year?
I gotta write Toast a big apology letter then.
We haven't decided, like we just don't know. We haven't decided on that yet.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you guys are still figuring out if you want to continue into Split 2, so it kind of makes sense that you're kind of taking it game by game, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of things to figure out, and what happens if we do end up like taking out DSG and taking that guest spot in LTA? We're gonna have to figure that out.
Yeah. One kind of last question here is, Eugene, you were talking a little bit about how there's not as much content to connect people. I know you guys are going to be streaming. Are there plans for any other content around the team that you guys will be doing or anything?
So I think if it comes down to it, we were already talking about when it gets to playoff time for NACL, we'll fly down Blade. The rest of us already live in LA. We'll be all together and we can film some IRL content, maybe do a day out, things like that. Put up some videos on YouTube. We definitely want to start building a YouTube presence, clips presence, social media presence, things like that, because I think that's really important now to always keep the fans connected with what's going on with the team and with the individual players. I also just want to say, I don't think we ever lost. I think we've only ever lost one playoff game together, Peter.
What game was that? I think we have a crazy statistic.
In NA at least.
We do have a crazy statistic where we just don't lose together.
We lost one game to Echo Fox when we played on Team Liquid. Besides that, I can't remember ever losing a single game together in playoffs. because we 6-0'd on CLG.
Yeah, we did.
And then it was TL, and then, yeah, I mean, one of those was undefeated, and one of them we dropped one game.
All right. So if we just make the playoffs, it's GG. It's over. We just have a cheat
We just
code.
got to make playoffs, yeah.
All right, so that's the goal, make playoffs. No, but on the content front, it's really exciting to hear that you guys are planning on doing this. Because as you were talking about the, like, oh, God, we were doing some early scrims before OQs and it was going bad, we're all panicking. Yeah. I'm like, damn, I wish there was footage of that. You know, like, I wish Andrew had been recording all this and you guys had released it as, like, a video. It's just...
Oh, my God, man.
It would have been even better if you guys just did make it through open qualifiers and then you released the VOD.
That was just like the train wreck, like, breaking point 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, bro, like, that would have been so bad.
We're washed. That's the YouTube title.
Yeah, I think this whole thing, like, for me, I think it's really like emotional, and it's really hard to make all these decisions because, like, all of us care so much and we don't want to do it wrong. We don't want to, like, go into it off on, like, the wrong foot and like feel kind of like only partially invested. So it was, like, so good to talk to everyone and feel like, oh man, everyone, like, really wants to do this, right? Like, kind of almost everyone was holding back how much they wanted to do it in a way where I got the feeling that, like, there wasn't that much interest. And then after we had the option to going into NACL after winning the OQ, it was like, oh no, like, this is for real. Like, we totally want this to happen and we just want to do it right. So yeah, like, what can the fans expect from us? Probably just, like, we're going to do everything we can to make the best content, to be the best team, and to, like, keep you guys entertained.
Yeah. On a personal level, I am just super fascinated to see how you guys are able to balance this. Because I do think, and I am happy for you that you've moved on and that you have a life with these 3 cats that have fur everywhere I sit in this house.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I want to see you guys, you know, go for this and try some stuff. And so it'll be just really interesting to see how you can find that balance of, hey, I want to live a full life that I couldn't normally get whenever I'm an LCS pro, but also I want to compete and have a good time and participate in all this stuff. So it'll be really cool to see how you guys manage that and how things go.
Yeah, I'm scared but excited.
Yeah, it's very fun. Anything either of you want to say to any of the near airport fans out there?
You know, I don't know. I felt like I was going to say something. But,
I've asked you this question on various teams for over a decade now.
Dude,
maybe
I'm so
like 13 or 14 years.
Yeah. I'm really bad.
Usually you had something, I think you would say something along the lines of, oh, you know, like, I'm really sorry that we've been losing, or hey, I just want to thank everybody for supporting us or whatever. I figured there might be something here. Where can people find you?
I mean, okay, I mean, who cares about where people can find me? I just want to say, like, my mentality is, like, I was so afraid that this project was going to fail, and I was so scared that I was going to be washed and, like, terrible and ass, and, you know, I just don't want to let that hold me back. I don't want to let the fear of failure hold anyone back, so I'm just going to full send it. I hope everyone else on the team full sends it. I hope that we can make it a really fun and exciting experience for everyone. Even at the end of the day, if the project fails, something goes wrong, we suck ass, or, like, we lose, then at least we can say we tried, smile about it, and, you know, make some content along the way.
That was great. You should have just said that immediately. That was perfect. That's what you needed.
Okay.
Good job. All right. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say thank you to all of our fans for being encouraging about it. Like, you know, I saw some comments about, like, people would be disappointed if we didn't do it. Like, that just means you're disappointed if we're not going to do it because you really want to see it happen. Like, everyone really wants to see it happen. That's what it feels like. And I think that is a good push as well. Like, we all have our personal motivations for wanting to do it, but I think at the end of the day, it doesn't happen without the fans. So thank you guys.
Thank you both for the interview. It's a pleasure. Didn't know when the next time, if ever, I would get a chance to interview either of you about a competitive League of Legends matches.
This is so funny. Like, when's the last time we did this?
Yeah.
That's question is, when's the first time we did this? It must have been like 14 years ago, bro.
Yeah, it is ancient. I do think there was like a 17 or 16-year-old Poe Belter on an episode of State of the League many years ago.
I believe that.
And it was very funny because you guys, I think, had only recently been able to get back in here. And it was the first time I'd gotten a chance to see the living room and all this stuff. And I was joking about it. It's like, wow, 14 years. He went from my couch to this place. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, this is my first time in Peter's house too. This is what 8 LCS trophies get.
Oh my god,
exactly.
guys.
Yeah, listen. And sponsors, don't worry about hitting them up because he's got this covered. You can check out the rest of my coverage of all things near airport and NACL right here on my YouTube channel.